girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done.
I think that's enough of that.
No, I was dancing.
I know you were dancing. I was trying to get you dancing on stream. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We've just come from our Crowdies Roundup, and as it's that time of the month, we're going to go for our Stadia. Duncan, how dare you do that facial expression there? We're going to do our cloudy Stadia Pro predictions for May 2021. This is a format we've done the last couple of months, for the last 6 or 7 months, I think it is now. And if I bring up the previous stuff, this is actually everyone's predictions for this month. So some apologies from Happy, Cloud Gamer, Raf Gaming, and Andy, predicting 5, 4, and 5 games respectively coming to Stadia Pro. Destroy Humans, Ark, Subnautica, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Sekiro for Happy. Ark, Fake Bash, Darkside Detective 1, and Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 for Raf. And Andy went for both Darkside Detectives, Nanotale Typing Chronicles, Kimono Heroes, and Floor Kids for his Stadia Pro games. So I've also filled in the number of games I want to predict this month. We've put a hard limit of 6 overall games to avoid, that last time. 16 games was predicted by, but we did get one of them right, which was one more than the whole rest of us put together. So well done, Brandon, for winning last month. Although
we got minus points.
He predicted more games than any of us coming to Pro. He got one right. We got none right between us. But we have put a hard limit of 6 games maximum. You don't have to predict 6 games. You can predict less. Obviously, Happy, Raf, and Andy have predicted less. But you can't predict a game 7 or a game 8. It has to just be maximum of 6. We have Duncan and Barry with us tonight. Obviously fresh from our Cloudies Roundup stream. Go check that out after this. Check this out first, and then go check out our Roundup stream. How are you doing, gentlemen?
Good. Okay. I'm refueled, ready to go.
Yeah.
Hello. Minus the cheesecake. I didn't have time for the cheesecake.
Oh,
you got cheesecake?
I'd have delayed the stream another 5 minutes or so. You'd be fine. You should have said. Well, let's get straight down into it. I've said I'm predicting 6 games this month. Barry, as I've got your square highlighted, how many games do you want to predict?
5.
We're going 5 for you. Okay. And Duncan?
I want to predict 7.
Tough, you can't. I'll put you out for 6, shall I?
No, go. I don't think we're going to get 6. I think we're going to get 5.
This isn't the number of games you think you're going to come to Pro. This is the number of games you want to predict.
Okay, I'll go for 6. I'll put a wacky one at the end then.
A wacky one at the end. Okay, so I think it's probably fair for myself and Duncan to predict 2 games before Barry gets his first one in. Just so we all finish up at the same time.
I can work with that.
And I want to say Endeavour's got his predictions in of Darkside Detective 1, Ark, and Little Big Workshop.
Ooh. Big Workshop. That's a common one, but it always gets mentioned that the devs said that wouldn't be coming to Pro for at least a while. Maybe that while's passed. I don't know. Duncan, just because I want to make sure one of my games I'm predicting is last, because I don't want any of you copying it.
Okay, I will get the easy one. You can put it in there. I don't need to say it.
Go on, you say it.
Ark.
Oh, what a shocker. This is a game that was supposed to, I swear, the announcement was first quarter 2021. And we're now.
It was early 2021. Yeah,
Was it early or was it first? I thought it was first quarter.
I think it said early. Hang on, let me consult Google.
But either way, it's a game we know is coming to Pro. We presume it's coming to Pro at launch, but we've been bitten with that already. See Dark Side Detective. Funny enough, I'm not predicting Arc. I'm not predicting Arc coming on May the 1st, shall we say.
Early. It was early
They
2021.
just say, okay, fair enough. I'm getting Q1 from somewhere else. I'm not going to predict Arc to come May the 1st, but we do know from a previous announcement from developers that there's some DLC coming. I want to say May 23rd, but
26.
that might be 26th. There you go. You can tell he's got the a Google search engine in front of him.
No, it actually doesn't tell me in front. I just happen to know that one.
You had that committed to memory. Blimey.
Yes.
So I've got to consult my list. My first game there's a bit of logic behind this one. It's coming to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate very soon. I believe on the 29th, but Destroy All Humans. A game, THQ Nordic, I don't think they've had a Stadia Pro game yet. Have they? They do so many games. I'm sure they must have had one. But a game I'm quite excited to play anyway. Probably will play it on Xbox Game Pass. Now I've got it. I'm thinking maybe they've got a similar deal with Stadia when it comes to Pro at a similar time. That's literally my only logic there.
I will sing a little song for you. SpongeBob SquarePants, SpongeBob SquarePants.
That's it. They did that, and obviously that was the one out of 16 games Duncan Brandon predicted last month. SpongeBob was the only one that came.
The look on his face.
You are going to get. I'm going to send Kelly round to see you and have words with you and get her punching you and kicking you and headbutting you and everything under the sun by calling me flipping Brandon. Like, come on!
I'm sorry. You give me the lead on these things. I sort of. Yeah, it's fun. Anyway, my second game, because I'll do what I normally do and just snake up and down the table, is one that, again, there's a bit of logic, but also a bit of controversy. We mentioned earlier games that we might have been told are coming to Pro but haven't. Dark Side Detective is my second one. I'm going to have it down to Dark Side Detective 1. That is the first season. The one that back in the day we were told was coming to Stadia Pro before Dark Side Detective 2 came out. And the only story we've heard about why that hasn't happened yet is because it missed a deadline. Now that missed a deadline, I'm assuming it will still come to Stadia Pro. And I'm presuming that's going to be this month, May 1st. I suspect I'm not the only one thinking that, but we'll find out as it goes on.
If it does happen, I will be having a yap about that, as I normally like yapping. Is it me now? I have to change.
I believe it is. Yes.
I have to get the right name. Just bear with me here because there's two of these games. I am going for Shantae Risky Revenge Director's Cut.
Shantae Risky Revenge
Directors. You can just call it that. It's.
I've got the brackets though. It's always okay. Is there any logic, or is that literally a game out of a hat?
It's £9.
It's £9. So it's in that Pro
Yes.
range.
It's in the Pro range. Yes.
Okay, we'll see. Our previous hit rate on Stadia Pro Predictions. Well, February we did reasonably well. We got 5, and then we got 1 for the last 2 months. So we're. As it says in the description, accuracy is not guaranteed on these streams. This is just a bit of fun, and if any of us get more than actually in the recent month more than 1 correct, then I think we'll be very, very impressed.
I blame the CGAs for my my downturn in form of getting them right. I had a good little run towards.
You were usually good, yeah.
Yeah.
Go back.
I've
Yeah, you
got
had
2 that month.
2 in December. You got 3 in November.
Yeah, I know.
Back
See,
in the day.
told you.
And
CGA
that was
ruined
before CGA. So yeah,
it.
maybe.
Why are we blaming CGAs? Or are we just going to keep that quiet and keep that as a secret?
I think we have said before, but if not, obviously when we arranged for Cloud Gaming Awards back in, I think it was mid-December, we actually had this moment. But I was the only one that saw all the votes coming in at the time, and I was teasing them with this pie chart with no information on it, just the segments. And look at how close this vote is. Look how close this vote is. You won't believe, not even telling you what category the vote was in, but just sharing a little bit of how close it was going. We then had a stream or a meeting between I think it was just 3 of us in that meeting. Oh, no, Andy
I think
might have
Andy
been
was there as well. Yeah.
But I asked these guys to predict which games they thought were top. Duncan didn't do too badly with his predictions. Andy didn't do too badly either. Barry got every single one wrong, and some of them quite drastically wrong. So, but we were.
Oh dear.
I guess that's what happens. But I thought you got all your bad predictions out of the way then, and you'd be quite good with it. I don't know.
Well,
We'll
you'd
find out.
think, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Now's your chance to set it right.
Let me get
First pro prediction from May.
Arc.
I think when the DLC is coming out at the end of the month, I think you have to give people time to kind of work their way through in time for the DLC coming. And yeah, I think if you kind of, it's the right month to market it, isn't it? Leading up to the DLC as well. So I think it just makes sense for me.
It would certainly be the best opportunity that Stadia have. Again, considering what we were just talking about an hour ago, we'll find out. Hopefully it does come before the DLC. I still can't work out why I had Q1 in my head for some reason.
Well. That's kind of early 2021, isn't it?
It's going to be May. It's nearly mid 2021 at this point. But, oh well.
Yeah, no, I just mean when you said Q1, that's kind of generally considered early in 2021, isn't it?
Okay, yeah. Should we go? I'm going to go back to the top and work our way up and down. So, Duncan, your third prediction now.
I had these all. I had these all in my head, and I was going to pull out a absolutely amazing sort of pick here, and I have went all stupid, and I've just remembered it. Cronus Beyond.
Cronus.
Yes.
Is it
Beyond
or before the Ashes?
I think it's before the Ashes.
Before the, but you knew what I meant. You knew what
Yeah, we knew what you meant. I'm just trying to work out so I can type it accurately. Again, that's a similar to Shantae. That's a game that's around that £10 to £20 price range that we all kind of expect it to come to pro at some point.
Yes, it's in the fun zone. It is currently £27. It's on the top.
A bit more expensive. Okay.
A bit more expensive, but it is on different platforms as well. So I think it's like a common sense sort of choice. And now as we go on, we're going to get more and more risky.
Predictions. Or
yes.
Okay. You see, I think the one I'm holding until game 6 is actually a good prediction. You'll see the logic in it. I don't think it's risky at all. I'm just hoping I'll sneak it past you. My third game is a game I predicted before, Hotline Miami 2. We had the first Hotline Miami come to the platform, come to Stadia Pro back in January.
I think it was January, yeah.
I want to say January because I think I have a vague memory of streaming it. And obviously we've had sequels to other games come through. We've had Hitman 1, Hitman 2. Can't think of any others off the top of my head.
Tomb Raider.
How did I forget Tomb Raider? How did I forget Tomb Raider? I can't believe that. But yeah, it's we've had a series sequels to games come to Stadia Pro. It's been a few months now. I think it's time to get the second Hotline Miami out there.
Good shout. It's a good shout.
Barry, I think you're doing second and third predictions now because we're snaking up and down.
Okay, yep, that's fine. So my next one, I'm going to throw a bit of a curveball, and I think it's partly on the basis that I think we've seen the dev throw quite a bit of support towards it, and I think that people have had a tremendous amount of fun with it on Stadia, and I think it probably deserves kind of maybe hitting more people's libraries in its Killer Queen Black.
Yeah, I was just thinking of heading towards Killer Queen Black, but I swear it's a pro title. It's not a pro title, is it? I remember I've recently started buying games on Stadia again. But yes, Killer Queen Black is a fantastic game. If you haven't played it already, I fully recommend buying it. It was on offer. I think this time last week it was on offer, but not anymore. It's still only like £15 or something.
Yeah, I think it's 16, 17 quid at the minute.
And that again is, we've said it with Duncan's games, it's right in the middle of that 10 to 20 pro game range.
Yep, no, indeed. And it is on Game Pass as well.
That's true. Yeah, that's filling a lot of logic. Yeah, have you guys played Killer Queen Black on any platform? Actually,
I've not played it yet. No,
you are missing out. So I played it on stream a few weeks ago, and had Liquid Bit, the devs or publisher, I can't remember which ones they are. They were actually in the stream chat, actually helping me out, giving me a few tips. And for the first 10-15 minutes of that stream, it was actually absolutely invaluable because it's a new game. I wasn't entirely sure what was going on. They gave me enough to get going, and then my mind started figuring out strategies, and it's great fun. It's one I'd love to do for one of our player logs, actually.
well, it's crossplay, isn't it?
It is cross-play, so yeah, maybe you'll see that. I'm just throwing it out there to Duncan and Barry now, but maybe you'll see that in future.
Indeed. I'm guessing you're looking for number 2 from me, or number 3.
I don't.
Number
Do you want to say number 2? Thank you.
Oh dear.
Duncan's too childish tonight. He really is.
I am.
He's had his little serious moment before the roundup.
Yes.
I'm just trying to think of which order to go with these. See, I've actually got. I'm not going to spoil it, but some of my remaining 3 are shared with other people. I am going to go with. I'll go with the obvious one, Dark Side Detective 1.
Anything you want to say about Dark Side Detective 1 that hasn't already been covered?
Well, I think whilst they, from what I'd seen, I think it might have been actually in the same social media communication or response when they said that they missed the window for Pro. They said hopefully soon, though, which indicates to me that it's still going to be a Pro game. And
did they actually say hopefully soon?
I'm sure I've seen it, and if I'm making that up, I apologise, but I'm sure I have seen that in the response. So that's my logic.
You'd have to think it's on the cards for them.
It has to be.
If they announced it and were talking about it those months ago before the game was on the platform, you'd have to think it was something that was at least still a possibility for them.
Yeah.
My next game is another one I've predicted a couple of times, Relicta, which for some reason I always put in the same pool as Turing Test, which is another great game on Stadia. That was on Stadia Pro about this time last year, and it's actually one of the few games I've completed on Stadia because, like most people, I'm just overloaded with games on the Pro library. I don't have much time to complete them. But I've that kind of space exploration, puzzle solving type genre is one I quite like, and one I'd quite like to see come to Pro.
Yep, and it's just had an update as well, which is great. Oh, is it me now?
I believe so. Your fourth prediction. We're rocketing through these now.
Fourth and fifth. Oh, that's putting me under
Oh,
pressure.
yeah, and your fifth, yes.
I can do the nice, easy one to start off with, and that is not actually copying Zero Games for me, believe it or not, but he has mentioned it. I am going to go for Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Sammy doesn't look too best pleased with that prediction.
No,
Just because of the
I'm
anniversary.
psyching it up all stream, all week. I've been really psyching it up.
I think it's time. The time has come. And my next game I am going to go for, I'm just pulling this out here. Surviving the Aftermath.
That's, I gotta say, because all the games we've predicted so far, I think, are ones that are already on Stadia. Surviving the Aftermath is one that's, we're told, is coming to Stadia, but isn't currently on the platform.
It hasn't even been announced as officially.
Oh, that one hasn't even been announced. Okay.
Yes.
Maybe I've got that confused with other announcements then. Okay. Is there any particular logic? Because obviously that would be one they've kept very quiet about.
Yeah, it has been nicked in the ESRB rating many, many moons ago. I just think we're approaching the time where secret surprises are going to come out, like we got last month with Resident Evil and things like that. They always seem to have some random game, and I'm just actually trying to think of random games which may be coming. So I have pulled that one out.
Now the question is for because my game I was really happy that I'd noticed something with was Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I'm gonna put that down. That was supposed to be my sixth guess, but it's now going to be my fifth. Because I looked through the games on sale. Tomb Raider 2013 is on sale. Rise of the Tomb Raider is on sale. The two Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris and the Guardian of the Light, they're on sale. Shadow of the Tomb Raider isn't. And I've got a feeling this harks back to when the original Tomb Raider 2013 went on Stadia Pro. Because that was on Stadia Pro back in December 2019, one of the very first games on subscription. A lot of people were upset that they bought it on sale because it was a good deal and then found out they had it as part of a subscription. I've got a feeling they're doing this to get around that this time around. It doesn't affect me. I bought it when it was on sale beforehand, so it's not like Hitman 3 where it's too recent a game that hasn't been on sale yet. I think that's going to be this month. It's about time, like Duncan said. Yeah, it'd be a great addition to anyone's collection.
Yeah, I love Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I know certain people in this group think that the early ones were better, and I'm not disputing that the early ones were great, but there was something about Shadow of the Tomb Raider that really got me. I really enjoyed it.
I'm sorry, Sammy, I've upset you.
I was really happy about that one, and I thought I figured that one out. That's decent sound logic, but no one's used, no one's noticed. I had to fake the Tomb Raider reaction I did to your comment earlier, Barry. I had to fake that. I did it perfectly.
Oh, dear.
So I didn't want to give it away, and I didn't draw attention to Zero's comment. And then the minute Duncan mentioned Zero, I thought, no, he's going to say it. Damn it! Because I don't get the unique point for it now. I was going to treasure that. I was going to treasure that unique point if it came. I really was. Well. Change the subject. Barry, your next one.
It doesn't really. I don't know what. Do you guys do that? I have to ask the question. Do you guys agonize about the order that you're going to say these?
Yes, and I realized I messed up my order.
I write them down in an order, right? And then I look at them and think, I'm not happy with that order. I'm going to say them in whatever order I feel like it. And then that's
normally.
it.
Obviously, I mentioned I wanted Shadow of the Tomb Raider last, but it was more so that no one else copied it. Because I was that convinced my logic would be that effective. But one thing you would notice if you switch the order of my last 2 games around is they are in alphabetical order. And that's because I've just gone on the all games list and scrolled down until I thought, that's good, that's good, that's good.
What was I going to say here? I think Charge has got a point here. I think that's it. And using a Sammy logic, all the other EA games are on sale, but this EA game isn't on sale.
Is it not that? That's the. But I even put Jedi Fallen Order as a pro prediction a few months back. Oh, trying to work out when I did that now.
Yeah, I think you did.
I predicted Shadow of the Tomb Raider back in April as well. Look at me. Yeah, there you go. March. Yeah, it's not the first time we predicted Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Hopefully this will be the last and we can move on to other games. It's becoming like Ark. It's a sort of a tradition. We mention it once every month.
Maybe they could get really playful with it, and on the Stadia store, they could just, under every other EA game, they could just have in brackets, these are not the games you're looking for. Right, I think I've bought myself enough time to decide which one I'm going to go with.
Yeah, so, you stalled long enough.
And this one it features on Andy's list because I think it's got pro game written all over it. I genuinely can't see anybody buying it, if I'm honest. And that's Floor Kids.
Say that I have seen a few people streaming it already. Interested to hear your logic on it. Is it?
It's just the look of the game. I think it just screams pro game. That's I think, for me that's what it is. And I think we've had other kind of rhythmic games on pro as well that have sat on the platform kind of at a price and then they've kind of gone pro. So I can see it happening.
I'm not trying to discourage it, but obviously that was a game that was released last week or certainly in April. That's quite a quick turnaround for it. Is that
what quick turnaround into when it's released?
Launching a platform and then putting it onto the subscription.
Yeah, I still think it's possible. I think you maybe stick it on, see if you get any takers for it, and then kind of with the intent to put it into pro. But it's just a gut feeling. I could be wrong.
Yeah, fair enough. That same logic would kind of rule out any game that goes straight to pro. So I'm just asking what the.
No, that's it. Yeah, it's a worthy question.
Andy, I do know some streamers. I was watching a few people on the Stadia Bash community network streaming it. I don't know in the wider world whether the numbers are good, bad, or what. I think this is our final predictions. I say final predictions. Barry normally has a final prediction, and he's even been kind and predicted 5, so we can get away with a final extra prediction at the end and still be within the 6-game rule. but all that aside, Barry, your final prediction.
Yes, my final prediction is one that I actually predicted it last month, and I'm still of the belief that it's going to go straight into pro under the Stadia Makers program, and that is Death Carnival.
Again, I remember that game got announced originally. There's been a lot of the developers have done a lot of interviews with. I think they've done an interview with us, certainly with. As it was then Stadia Source, I believe they've done interviews with other creators in the community.
Yep, indeed.
They've been very, very supportive of the platform, but I've never once seen a release date for it, or even a release window.
I want to say that it was. I could be wrong on this, but I want to say that it was 2021. But I want to say that it was early 2021. I could be
Well,
wrong. I can check. I can check that anyway. But yeah, I've got a feeling that's when it was. And also, it kind of feels like I've noticed some of the social media from the actual official account kind of feel like it's picked up a little. So
okay, yeah. My final prediction, and that is my final. Can't have a seventh prediction under my own rules. Why did I make up that rule? Serious Sam 4. We had the collection of the first 3 games come to Stadia Pro again about a year ago, but also more importantly, Serious Sam 4 was a PC and Stadia timed exclusive, and I believe it's coming out on consoles very soon. I think maybe even this summer. And I've got so I think bringing it onto Stadia Pro about now would be the right time to get people interested in the game, get awareness of it up there again, and maybe get a few people subscribed to Stadia Pro, sub to Stadia Pro.
Okay.
I've got no idea on the exact dates of it, so I might be completely out. I might have missed it today or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I know it was pushed back a bit because it came out slightly later, so we're not sure what the timescales are for its exclusivity. So we don't even know how long the exclusivity is going to last for. Or did I pick this completely up wrong?
no, you did. You got it. You picked it up right.
Yeah, look. But I think it was, I would say, it'd be about 6 months, a year at the tops. I think you're right with that. I think we would probably be coming up to that sort of time period again. Oh, should I go for my one?
I was also just checking something in private chat. Yeah.
Yeah. With my final game, I got my order mixed up, and it's going to be the massive letdowns of all time. This was actually meant to go before Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Oh, so you brought that forward as well.
Are you ready? Kick Bash.
You're actually going for it, are you? I thought about it and decided no, this month I'm not going to predict Cake Bash.
Yes, I will go for Cake Bash, and I think it is a brilliant game. My only thing about it was it's a fun game to play in co-op. I wish it had like 8 or 12 sort of people in it rather than the 4. If they made the level slightly bigger, I think they could have had a real hidden gem there, which could have maybe taken off. That was my only criticism of the game, is just needed more players on it. It is a real fun game.
I believe what they were trying to do was get the couch co-op going. That was across all platforms. So but the idea is those 1 or 2 people at the time that would have 4 Stadia controllers. Even I don't have 4 Stadia controllers. I've got 3, and I'm the only person in my house that plays Stadia. Why have I got 3 controllers? Because they're different colors, and I like collecting them. Too many gaming controllers these days.
You can never have too many gaming controllers.
No, I can't. Especially as I'm considering getting an Xbox One as well now.
Yeah, I have got, or we have got all the Stadia controllers in the house as well. I think we've got about 6 or 7 of them knocking about all around.
No, your household of multiple people that play Stadia.
Yes, or mostly, but it's great to see
more than this household.
Yes. And I do have, but my pride and joy of my Stadia controller. Yes, I've got the Wasabi, but it is still the Founders one. Founders one is still my favorite.
You can go out and buy a Wasabi controller.
Yeah. The only problem with my Founders one now, is like we've talked about it before, is the right trigger is starting to go on it. But that's my only thing about it. But my Founders one is my favorite one. So there is your complete another side where talking about controllers. So
I believe that's all the ones we said at the start. I'm leaving a pause here so Barry can butt in the final one if he wants to, just for old time's sake.
No, the only thing I
Oh.
have left, to say is to further my Death Carnival point, was that they
Oh.
released a second official trailer 2 weeks ago. So that's furthering my logic.
2 weeks ago, so that would be about the right time frame as well.
Yep.
In terms of game trailers, 2 weeks to launch.
And
But again, no launch window at all.
No, I've just checked the end of the trailer just to be sure. That nothing there, and I can't find it in the announcement either. I'd need to find the official blog post to see, because I'm sure the official blog post, can't get my words out now, had dates underneath it, and I'm sure it was 2021.
I was going to put I was just named 2 other games which I was thinking of, including in my list. Civilization, the newest Civilization, because that's really got a Linux port. And what was the other game? It's just been completely out from my head. It was completely another. Oh, Darksiders 3. That was another game that I was thinking of, because that has been listed by multiple places as well. That was the other 2. I think
these as honorable mentions, not predictions.
Exactly. Because I think we're going to get, I have a feeling we're going to get a big game which we do not know is coming. I think we're going to get another Resident Evil sort of moment. I think we're going to get a AAA or sort of level game coming, and I would welcome that.
Excellent. Sounds good.
So those are, I guess, our Stadia Pro predictions. I'll try and zoom in so you can. I'll try and zoom in. It's going to be a bit more difficult than I thought. There you go. 150%. You can see it a bit clearer there. So have a look, screenshot it. I'll try and post something up on Twitter. I didn't do it last month because I couldn't get it all in one picture. I've just seen that quote, that thing from Andy. That would be very interesting if it does. But let us know your Stadia Pro predictions. We have people in the chat: Dr. Spaceman, Paul Byram, Andy, who's ready on Charles, Gumnar, Endeavour. Let us know in the comments below, or on Twitter. That's at CloudyWithGames.
That's the one.
Someone butt in if I'm wrong there. But yeah, thanks very much for watching. Like, subscribe.
Sammy, have you anything to say?